So it's interesting to note now that in Noble Life, we design and we formulate all our teachings and our therapies according to the thinking of Dr. Bernard Jensen. So what did Dr. Bernard Jensen say? He said, we all have a body. Whether our body is healthy or sick, it has got to do with this thing called our system. There are a total of 26 different systems in our body. Halimbawa, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the reproductive system, the skeletal system, the muscular system. Now the sum total of all these 26 systems, they are healthy. That is why we have a healthy body. So you can follow, our body is actually made up of 26 systems. Now different systems are made up of different organs, which are in turn made up of cells. We are actually the sum total of an estimated 73 trillion cells in our body, meaning 73 plus another 12 zeros. So Dr. Bernard went on to explain that if a person has got asthma, asthma actually shows itself in the body. Why? Because the respiratory system is affected, and the organs chiefly is the lung. But at the core, it is because our cells are sick. So what do doctors give asthmatic patient? Yes, come on, yes, very good.
Inhaler.
Diba? So Dr. Bernard Jensen said when a doctor gives
Inhaler
to an asthmatic patient, you are actually treating the patient at the body, which is the external part. What you need to do is to actually treat the problem at the source, which is the cellular level. So I have a personal encounter of a 20-year-old asthmatic patient who had been on
inhaler
for the last 17 years. Every week he gets an asthmatic attack. Now in the 2 months that he came to us,
we managed to help him to the extent that he never have to need the inhaler anymore.
why? Because our products is able to treat the problem at the cells. So this is exactly what Dr. Bernard Jensen was talking about. He said he believes that after you treat the disease, it is not good enough. Why? Because you need to treat the whole person. Treating the whole person means to treat him at the source of the problem, right here at the cellular level. Now, to help us completely comprehend this idea, Dr. Bernard Jensen draws this tree. Can you see this tree here? Now, Philippines is an agricultural country. What do farmers do when they see something wrong with the tree? Come on. Yes. They trim, diba? They trim and they prune. And after that, sometimes they spray insecticide and pesticide. Now, listen very carefully. Dr. Bernard Jensen said that when a farmer sprays insecticide and pesticide to a tree, it is equivalent to what a doctor spraying
inhaler
for an asthmatic patient. When you do that, Dr. Bernard Jensen said you take care of the problem at the external. The English language is very interesting. There's an expression called, if you want to eliminate a problem, you got to go to the root cause of the problem. Now, what is the problem today? We all know that the world that we live in is a very sick world. People are getting more and more sicknesses, but not just more and more sicknesses, but even more and more severe. And they are getting the sickness at a much younger age. Why is that so? Because of this thing called toxins. There are already too much toxins present in our body due to 5 main reasons. Number 1, the food that we are eating. Not only is it deprived and depleted of the minerals, it is highly toxic. Similarly, the water that we drink, the air that we breathe, and the stress of modern day living is causing a lot of toxins to the body. Plus the fact that some of us abuse our life, living an unhealthy lifestyle. Now the sum total of all these 5 factors contribute to a highly toxic body.
In this next picture, you are looking at the discharge. 6 to 10 hours after taking cleanse, this is what actually comes out in the CR. Can you just imagine? All this has been stored in the body as toxins over the years. Yee.
Now there's a very famous doctor by the name of John Harvey Kellogg. Some of you will remember, when I was a young boy, I actually took Kellogg cornflakes. It was only in later years that I discovered Kellogg cornflakes was actually named after a very famous doctor, Dr. Kellogg. So who is Dr. Kellogg? Dr. Kellogg is one of the very famous doctors in America who performed something like 22,000 operations. And on the operating theater, he discovered that not a single patient had a healthy colon. And it is consistent. Why? Because we now understand, based on the food that we eat and the water that we drink and the air that we breathe, all these toxins get stored in our body and they become the perfect breeding ground for a variety of sicknesses that can happen in our body. So, Dr. John Kellogg went on to conclude that 90% of all the sicknesses actually start in the colon. Knowing this and understanding the highly toxic body to be the chief cause of sicknesses, Noble Life designs our therapy system based on 3 steps. Step number 1, which is to cleanse and detoxify the body. Step number 2 is to restore the balance in the body, which is to rebalance it again. And number 3 is to nourish the body. So our first product is aptly called Cleanse, C-L-E-A-N-S-E. What does it do? Very good. It cleanses the body. It's a high fiber product, and generally speaking, the fibers are broken up into either soluble or insoluble. Let me explain. The soluble fiber actually acts as a jet of water to spray onto the internal walls of our intestine, so that all the dirt and the toxin, when they are removed from the internal wall, that is where the second part, which is the insoluble fiber, comes in. The insoluble fiber acts as a broom to sweep out all the toxin that has been removed from the internal walls of the intestine. So this is the picture. Now within 6 to 10 hours after taking our cleanse, this is actually what will come out in the CR.